Hello guys, I'm John BenderWaffles Aljits, and today we're doing a speed development commentary of the City of the Dead map, which is the first of the Pop Horror City maps that I created using that tile set. So let's just jump right into this here and get going. This is actually one of my more recent speed developments, so you may have seen this one. Now, originally I thought about starting off with like a raised area, a bit of like a weird hillside or what have you. But ultimately, I didn't feel like I liked the look. I didn't really like the way that the tiles were playing with each other, so I kind of passed on it. Typical road here, you've got just a four-way intersection. I was experimenting a lot while making this map because I've never actually used this tile set. So I wanted to sort of play with it and see what I could come up with and see what I could do with it. And I think that this map turned out pretty good. One of my stronger ones, to be honest. Now this like building here is just a little too close to the edge, so I'm going to move it. And I'm trying to sort of build up that these are places the players can go, where players can go, where players can't go, that sort of thing. And just trying to sell the overall aesthetic. Yeah. It has a very industrial feel to it, and the whole set certainly feels fairly industrial. Although you can play with it and you can come up with stuff that, fits just a more generic urban setting. But to me, this feels like something that you'd see in sort of like either the run down parts of a town or maybe like the warehouse districts of a city. And so I kind of played with that with a lot of like antennas and pipes and, all these sort of feels. I feel like that door there definitely sells like this is not a place that you're going to go into to buy like, candles or bath bombs or something. Like this is a place where you go there to work. And if you don't work there, you have literally no other reason to be there. That car is grotesquely huge compared to the rest of the tiles. I just feel like the scaling on it is a little off. But I like the look of it, so I decided to just sort of run with it. I know that I was talking about like this is sort of an industrial area, but there is like a nice little park district there, which I feel like kind of livens the place up and gives it sort of a unique sort of landmark. And that's one thing when you're making maps that I've said numerous times that you have to kind of keep in mind is you should be developing landmarks that the players are going to recognize and the players are going to remember your map for. In this case, I kind of opted again for the park district, and so to me that sort of serves that purpose. And I wanted to give it kind of like a gatekeeper's house or something where, like maybe the person who deals with the maintenance of the park keeps their tools. So that's what that like little shed is. So one thing that I do with town maps, and you'll notice, is that I will like build up a building and then I'll cut part of it off to create the edge of the map. And I do that because of the way that tiles work within MV and VX Ace actually, where they'll wind up curved at the end. So it'll be like, oh, that's the end of the building. What's on the other side of that? It just doesn't look right. So I kind of, I trick it a little bit. It's one of those like sort of map making techniques that you'll learn as you get used to using the program. And here I wanted to sort of do something to make it look like this is not exactly a place the player should go, but still give them the ability to go. It just kind of sells the overall aesthetic that this is a living and breathing city, and maybe, it's caught in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, so maybe it was, there was some road construction going on there before everything went down, and so it's just sort of blocked off for pedestrian traffic, but, it's still feasible to get through there if that makes any sort of sense. Lots of blood. Just a ton of blood. That's the one thing that the Pop Horror City tile set does really, really well, is there's plenty of blood options. The only problem is that if you look and see, you've got like a lot of blood trails that go left to right, not a lot that go up and down. I know that some of these like wall textures and stuff, if you played with them, you might be able to get them to look right on the ground. I never have really. So that's like kind of my one complaint. I mean, that's easily fixed by just going into a photo editor and sort of rotating some of these blood trails. But, you know, it's overall playing with the tile set. That's pretty much my only real complaint. That and like the weird, as I said, the weird scaling of the car, which honestly, it's not that weird. It doesn't fit within the mapping style that I do, where you have like, you know, the one tile wide lanes on the road. I should probably extend those out. But the problem when you're doing a city, I would rather sort of fudge the scaling a little bit and get it looking nice than have it properly scaled. So my roads are a lot smaller than they really should be. That's like the size of like a bike path. But I still, you know, feel like it looks better. And sometimes you have to do things, you know, that are done strictly because they look better. Yeah, I like there's a lot of like guidelines and a lot of rules when it comes to map making. You kind of just fudge them. Scaling is definitely one that you can sort of just kind of tweak it as need be. So yeah, there's not a lot really to say about this map. If I had to pick a favorite part, it would be the Parks District. Although this weird, like, almost in my head, this is like a slum or some kind of like hotel down here in the lower left-hand corner. And I like the look of that. I feel like it's varied enough with the broken windows and the bloody windows and the pipe. Definitely there's like some drainage. I kind of wish that I had put something on the roof, like an antenna or an AC unit or something, just to kind of give it a bit more. But you have plenty of that on the other buildings across the way. So it sort of varies things up a little bit. Looking back, these buildings here are kind of nondescript and kind of boring looking. I could have added in windows just to give them a bit more visual flair, and I probably should have. But I just, I was doing this pretty quickly. I think I did this map over the course of, I want to say it was over the course of like a half an hour to 45 minutes. It wasn't done, it wasn't like that time consuming of a map. It wasn't like anything super, super intense. It was just, I was casually playing with the tile set, and this is what I ultimately wound up producing. And I think that it looks pretty good, considering that it was the very first time I ever used the tile set. Like literally, like I had never even opened it until I started making this map. And I think it turned out pretty good. And it just kind of goes to show that if you have a general idea of map creation, you can use pretty much any tile set to create something that looks pretty good. So anyways, guys, if you like this speed development commentary, be sure to give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe and, leave a comment down below letting me know which of my speed developments you would like to see me do a commentary of next. And I hope you guys have a good one.